yourself on past that? Like, this is a serious question for a lot of y'all. Asking yourselves, besides school, elementary school, middle school, high school, and if I went to college, because when you go to college or when you take a technical course or anything like that, you're doing that to get into a career, right? This is a job. This is for earning money. But what skill sets have you went and educated and built yourself on that has to do with life outside of work? For a lot of us, once you tallied up and you look at what you have not went and seeked more knowledge on, you'll be able to see right there what I'm missing. And we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff. Is there anybody else that wants to share? Go for it.
Serena, I have 4 kids and a husband, and my emotions always get in the way of my career. Mm-hmm. I went through infidelity a couple of years ago, mm-hmm. and I was suicidal. I felt like my whole life fell apart. And I didn't know how to manage my emotions then. I'm learning as listening to you, but I didn't know how to manage my emotions then. And I just went crazy to where, I was always fighting him and, didn't trust him and he didn't trust me. And it was a back and forth thing. And it got so chaotic I just wanted to, physically hurt him again and again and again. Right. And so I do hair, and I sell a lot of things. I make hair hats. I make wigs. I sell all kind of other stuff. I sell waist trainers, weight loss products, and I got I want to teach classes and have shows. I've done so many hair shows and traveled all over the world doing hair shows. And with me going through what I did with my husband, it stopped me from moving forward to being the person that I'm trying to be. Like, I'm trying to reach the millionaire status, and I always have something pulling me back. I done sat in the car and cried for like a whole hour. I done took off work and said, look, I can't work today. I'm too weak. I can't do this. And then I come home. I got to cook. I got to clean. I got to wash clothes. And every time I wash clothes, it look like more clothes is piling up. Yep. So when I get so frustrated, I start crying. So I got to cook and clean, and try to please him and make sure he ain't doing nothing he ain't supposed to do, so I won't go to jail. Yep. And now I'm beating the kids, and sometimes I flip out on them, and I'm just like stressed to the max. And all I do is hustle. I hustle so much till I just cry and say, God, I'm tired of hustling. Right. I'm tired of hustling for the next dollar. And it's crazy, but I just feel like I'm just in the streets and I'm hustling. I feel like it's going around in a circle. I'm glad you shared. This Zoom is going to help you. And it's a lot of people that's going through the same stuff you're going through, where, it might be a different scenario, but their emotions have them in a space where, like I said earlier, I'm stuck when it comes to my goals. I'm stuck when it comes to just being happy. I'm stuck when it comes to seeing the value in what I have going on, or the blessings that I have, simply because there's certain traumas and stuff that's stuck on me, and it brings out my feelings, and I don't know how to manage it. So we definitely going to talk about this. This is definitely going to help. I appreciate you sharing, because I'm pretty sure it's people in this Zoom, it's people across the world going through the same shit you're going through, even down to the sitting in the car crying before they go into places. I talk to so many people on one-on-one phone calls where it's like they're going through something at home. Because of my lack of being on top of my shit, I don't have the space to miss a day at work. So I'm literally outside dreading going into work, simply because I'm not in the right state of mind. Like, my mental is not straight right now to come work. And I work a customer service job. I got to go in here, act like things are good when they're not good. I talk to people work at banks and shit, and they like, love, listen, I had to do a one-on-one with you on my break because I'm literally about to go ahead and fuck somebody money up, transfer the wrong amounts, just based on what I'm going through at home or what I'm feeling. And it for a lot of us, we have to start valuing our mental health more. And it starts with managing your emotions so you can set goals, build a foundation, budget, have people around you where you pick the right people, so that if there's ever a time where you're going through something, you actually have the stable datum at home to take off or leave a job if you need to see about yourself. Because a lot of us, we've neglected us based on trying to earn a dollar. And when we look back, like she said, I feel like I'm just hustling. Every day I'm just waking up and it's just a money grind and back to supporting my responsibilities, but it's never any support to me. That's a problem. It's a problem when it's a fact that money comes and goes. You can earn it and lose it and earn it back. You only get one you. You see what I'm saying? There are certain things that you don't get to redo. So if you deplete you of all your energy, your mental, your positivity about yourself, your esteem, a lot of times you can't get back to the space you want to be in when you done sat there and just let that shit go on for years and years. And for a lot of us, you can't get that time. We wasted a lot of time allowing ourselves and other people to fuck over us. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom? Anybody care to share about where they're at with goal setting? Anybody that, you know, I feel like I need a clear understanding on how to set my goals or how to go at them, how to approach them?
Yeah, I'll go.
Go for it.
I'm a big procrastinator. I self-sabotage myself. I don't prioritize my goals, my needs. And I know I'm capable of it, but I can't find the drive in me to set aside the time I need, A. B, I think ultimately I'm just not taking myself serious.
Right. And I'm so glad you said that, because literally what you just said is like 95% of people. They're just not willing to be honest like you are. Male, this ain't even no female thing. This is male and female. It's a lot of people that they need to just be honest based on what she said. I really don't take myself that fucking serious. That's why I don't show up for things on time that I fucking plan to do. That's why I don't actually discipline myself, organize my life, budget my money, give a fuck about what I'm actually doing, how I'm doing it, care about involving myself in the wrong shit, explaining too much about my business in the wrong rooms. Like, literally just don't take yourself serious enough. And oftentimes what people are doing to us is a reflection of what we're doing to ourselves. They treat us based on how we treating ourselves. I'm so glad you said that, because it really shows that to a certain extent you have a maturity level past most. Because like I said, most people, they are not honest with themselves about that shit. Anybody else care to share?
I want to know also, can I record this? Because I want to be able to write notes later.
So there are some people here that don't want to be recorded. So, you know, just my upfront answer is no. I will be repeating. Okay. So just so y'all know, I will be repeating most of these Zooms, video recording them without people in the Zoom, just me giving the data, and you'll be able to purchase those. And for those of y'all that have been in Zooms, multiple Zooms, you will get a discount. You won't get charged the same amount as people that are just buying the Zoom for the first time. But we do want to respect people's privacy, respect their space of not being on camera. Some people just hopped in here. They sitting at home. Some of y'all in y'all bed. Some of y'all sitting in the kitchen. Everybody ain't come on here. Look, she rubbing on her head. Everybody ain't coming here camera ready. So I appreciate if you respect that. Is there anybody else that has anything they want to share as to what brought them to this Zoom?
I want to touch on you said something about the goals. I set goals. I know how to set goals. And I wasn't necessarily, I think it's like a self-sabotaging aspect to me. And I was even in the Zoom that we had this the other day when you was going through the rejected person and the indignant person and shit like that. So I identified myself with the rejected person because people come and talk to me. They talk to me, they listen to me, and like I said, I know how to articulate in some aspects to get people to understand without coming off as aggressive or trying to get them to turn it down a notch.
Right.
But it's just I guess I don't believe in myself that much.
And that has to do with
I've been working for so long that I'm used to that.
That has to do with self-esteem, and a lot of y'all really have to ask yourself, where does my value in self lie? That's one of the first things. If anybody write anything down, where does my value lie? Disattached from others, where does my value lie with me? Is there anybody that's realized I never really asked myself that?
Yeah, I've never asked myself that. Yeah.
Yes, and when you, this is what I, yes, go ahead. Your phone breaking up. I think your connection a little bit broken. Whenever you get it right, you can speak back up again. I'm glad she did speak up. The point of me saying this to y'all is because for a lot of y'all, as you ask yourself, where does my value lie? Like, where do I see value in myself? A lot of y'all gonna realize if you wrote this out, it'll be all kind of stuff attached to other people, right? But self-esteem is about self, right? So it's a lot of women I'll ask that question to, and they'll immediately start talking about their kids, their husband, how they take care of their mama, where does your value lie within self? Like, why are you valuable to you? And a lot of people can't answer that fucking question. They can tell you why they're valuable to other situations. So when you start talking about, why you valuable as a mama, that shows how you're valuable to your children. When you start talking about how valuable you are as a wife or a girlfriend or a sister or an employer or or employee, like that's how where your value lies in those situations. How are you valuable to you? What things do you bring to the table that are beneficial to you? A lot of people can't answer that, male or female. It's a lot of men, you can ask them that. They don't know. They don't know what makes them valuable to themselves. When you answer this question, you're not to mention anyone else. This is you asking you, what do I do for me? How do I look out for me? What do I bring to the table for me? A lot of y'all gonna realize you bring a lot of shit to the table for other people. You do a lot of looking out for other people. You do a lot of care for other people. You do a lot of considerations, a lot of communicating that has to do with benefiting other people. What the fuck do you do besides wash your ass and put on clothes for yourself? And for some of y'all, you 27, 30, 35, 40, 50 years old, that's too old. Even 22 is too old to not understand, what do I do for me? And if you realize that I don't have a sense of this, you need to start listing out some shit. This is when we get into goal setting. There needs to be some things listed out that you plan on doing for you. It's simply for you, nobody else. And this is so important for those y'all that are moms. Some of y'all been moms since you was kids. You've been a parent since you were a child. I say this in multiple Zooms. You got to understand, since I was a kid, I've had kids. So I've been caring for someone else 24/7 since I learned like to care for myself. Never really went through a season of pouring into me. Never really asked myself, what do I want out of life? Never really asked myself, where do I see myself after these changes were made? Never really took a selfish season for me after having kids. Monet, for people like you, it's some of y'all, you've had kid after kid after kid after kid. When did you take a season for yourself?
Haven't, and it's funny that you say that because I've been saying that to my partner, and I've been trying to find a way to say it without feeling like I don't need the kids or I don't need him, but I need time for me. Like it's seven of y'all, 8 with him. You know what I mean? I need time to myself. I do everything for everybody. I make it happen. I have 7 kids, and you'll never look at them and tell it's 7 kids at home. They have a lot of stuff, but that's because I go so hard for them. And I do leave myself completely out. Look at my hair.
Yep. I'm telling you, from me to you, that's a problem. That's a problem. It's a problem. Yep.
They got hoverboards. My daughter got tutoring.
Do y'all hear what she's expressing though? This is past just the necessities that a kid needs. You're going above and beyond, but you're not doing that for you. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. You're teaching your kids a certain viewpoint when they see you pouring into others and never into yourself. For a lot of y'all with relationships, you get in relationships and there's always these considerations of the other person and never asking yourself, what do I want? What feels good for me? What do I want to be a part of? What do I deserve? When it comes to friendships, it's the same thing. I tell y'all, and my boyfriend would tell y'all too, like she gonna tell you what the fuck she deserves. Like if there's a communication or a disagreement or something that doesn't sit right, I'm gonna tell you what I feel like I deserve or I don't deserve. If some shit going on, I don't deserve that. I'm gonna let you know, hey, this, I don't deserve that. Hey, I deserve this. Because if I don't know nothing, I know what the fuck I deserve, what I'm worthy of, what I'm valuable enough to have, how I want to be treated. These are things you got to know first before you leave your front door. See, a lot of us, we go out into the world, we don't understand what we actually want. And this goes for male or female. This is not just a woman thing. Men need to understand what they deserve and where their value lies also. This is why you see a lot of them doing fuck shit. Because a lot of them don't realize where their value is. So you out here just doing anything for a piece of ass or your next dollar. Anybody got any questions on this? Because it's important that you understand this. You need to be able to answer the question, where does my value lie with self?
Like I'm crazy. It's like I know what I deserve, or I know what I feel like I'm worth, but then I still end up settling for the situation that I'm in and trying to make it right and trying to work, oh, let's work through it, or let's work through this. When you hurt me, I've been hurt several times, but I'm willing to move past it because I want this to work.
Right.
But
And
really deep down inside, it makes me feel like I'm crazy.
Right. But listen, I'm going to tell you
now,
two
I'm
things.
ready to kill you, her, whoever. Like, it's crazy.
Two things, because I understand exactly what you're saying. The only thing she's missing is, one, it's self-esteem. You cannot start building on your real inner self-esteem without boundaries. So for a lot of y'all, you don't realize, I just don't have boundaries. Like she said, I got a sense of what I deserve. I got a sense of what I want. But when you don't have boundaries, lines in the sand that are not allowed to be crossed, things that you're willing to stand on that have to do with you and what you feel like you deserve, you're going to always end up in a space where you're giving away too much, allowing too much, not leaving soon enough, and telling too much, involving yourself in stuff that doesn't go along with what you said you want. And you will feel crazy. Know why? Because you talk a lot of shit saying what you don't want to tolerate, what you don't deserve, but you spend a lot of time involving yourself in that same shit you say you don't deserve. So you look crazy. You look crazy saying yes, but it's really no. You look crazy saying red and it's really blue. You're a liar. This is what I get into when we tell stories about how people lie to us, but we be one of the biggest liars. We will involve ourselves in stuff that we say I don't deserve or I don't want, but we'll stay in it. You're lying.
He called me that today.
And you got to own it. You got to be willing to own it for you. The thing about it is, once you realize what you are in this moment, if you don't like it, you can change it. You can't change something that you don't even actually feel like is it. If I don't feel like I'm a liar, then I don't have no reason to begin changing my ways and start being honest with me.
Can I piggyback off of that a little bit?
Yes.
And y'all like take what resonate and leave what don't, you know? But for me, what I had to realize, it was like, you'll get irritated when other people lie to you, right? But
Yep.
I believe God uses everybody, or that higher source uses everybody to show you what you need to fix within yourself. So if you're irritated and you mad because other people lie to you, I'll step back and be like, damn, what am I lying to myself about? What am I being delusional about? Like, what is it about me? Because it's not the other person, it's me. And I have to be willing to be honest with myself about shit like that. So even if it comes down to your kids and you feel like your kids are right, yeah, it could be true from how your mind is conditioned, but it also is a reflection of you.
And
make sure y'all just be aware.
What she's saying is so relevant, and here's what we got to understand. Sometimes we are around people and they flat out liars, bad people, narcissists, got fucked up intentions trying to play us. This is true. The issue is we will know this stuff and we will still involve ourselves with them. This is when we get into self-esteem, because what you involve yourself in, what you tolerate, is a reflection of what's going on within you. So sometimes the things that you're thinking, feeling, seeing, it's accurate. But then you got to ask yourself, why am I sitting in this? If this room stank and there's a door, why won't I leave? A lot of us, when you ask yourself that question, you'll realize, well, I don't really got no plans once I leave the door. I don't got no goals once I get out of this room. I don't actually have any other options once I get rid of these friends or this situation. If I quit this job that doesn't feel right, I don't actually have anything else lined up. So this is why I'm staying where I'm at, because I haven't actually done the work for me to have something to move forward to. That's a problem.
That is exactly what I'm dealing with. I don't mean to interrupt, but I enlisted in the military at a very young age. So, like I said, most of my time was spent overseas in a male-dominant rate. So, you know, I've seen a lot, been through some stuff, but at the end of the day, when I finally came home to reacclimate myself with my family and my friends, everything, the entire world, everything I knew had changed.
Yep.
It's not the same.
Yep.
So that's exactly where I'm at. I'm having to pick up the pieces and figure out this new world, this new dating, the way of life that everyone has now compared to what I remember years ago. When you travel abroad and go somewhere else and you see a different culture, how they live, how they interact, you kind of get a better understanding of your own, but
Yep.
it also opens your mind to that what you used to know or how you were raised, it's more to it than that.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at, and that's mainly why I'm here, trying to figure out within myself, where do I pick up the pieces? How do I disable the brainwashing, as people would say, that the military did within me, having me live my life a certain way for so long. Now I have to learn, what do I really like?
And literally what you're expressing is a sense of diversifying my options for my life. Meaning, like, being real with myself, I feel some type of way about the changes that have occurred. But I still have to move forward, because you can't stop time. You can't go back. Things are not going to go back to where they used to be. You have to ask yourself, what am I doing for forward progress? What things am I lining up? What situations am I involving myself in? What resources am I making available to be able to have a variety of choices in my life? A variety of choices as far as the direction of where I could go. A lot of us feel stuck because we haven't opened up options for ourselves on what's going on with us. Literally, like when we talk about relationships, that's part of the reason why we'll stay in stuff that we don't even want to be in, simply because of lack of other options. Just like I was explaining on my live earlier, staying on a job, you don't like the boss, you don't really like the pay, but hell, you need your bills paid. It's something you just do. And the only reason you're stuck there is because you haven't actually actively lined something else up for yourself, or you wouldn't be there. Anybody else have anything they want to share before I get started?
I did want to also bring up my kids taking me serious. Just because I have this complex where I'm for real. I said what I said. I meant what I said. And then I'll go back. Not every time, but they know she might change her mind. And I'm tired. You know, I just got to figure out something where I can be stern. You know, I'm too worried about them feeling like I'm mean. And, you know, when they get older, they're going to venture off. And I don't want that. So, you know, I go back and forth. It's like, no, I said what I said. Do it. Give me the phone. But then the next minute, it's like, okay, you know, I don't want their feelings hurt. And
I'm going to tell you something, Monet. You have 7 kids, and there is the concept that you're outnumbered, right?
Like a what?
They like a little team, and you like, you know, it's the verses, right? What you got to understand, too, and this is going to go with goal setting. A lot of y'all will probably end up relating to this. In your life, especially with parenting, you can overthink a lot of stuff based on not having enough going on for you. And the reason why I say this is because the more successful you are and the more of a resource you are for your kids as they age, they will start listening to you on things where you don't have to force them to, just based on what you have going on. This is what I was explaining in one video that's kind of been circulating around, going viral online. A lot of us, when we hit that age of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, all the way up to about 21, we start to realize what our parents don't know, what they do know, what they actually have, what they don't. You know, 13 and under, you kind of just doing what they say because you feel like they know best. 14, 15, 16, 17, you start to actually look at, well, how much money do she got? These people living like this, and look what we got. You know, she's saying this, but I don't never really see her doing this. It starts to click as they transition into adulthood. And when they realize she really can't help me get a car or purchase the things I want, or I got to go work for somebody else, just like she got to go work for somebody else. You know, I'm going to have to start paying for a place to live as I get older. She ain't got no house for me to live in. We don't have no generational wealth. As they start seeing people that are a lot more successful than you, resource for knowledge or not. And this is when you see the real disconnect. So what I will tell you is the more you build on you, as your kids get older, they will start to listen to you on certain things just based on seeing the success and the happiness and the love and the stability in you.
That makes a lot of sense with kind of how we are now. From, we transitioned a lot. We came from nothing. Not that we just owned, but we definitely not where we were. It's way different, and it's way more comfortable, and I can see that being true. But I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else. But that's one. My kids are my main thing, because I feel like, and they're a product of me, and I'm responsible for them. How they end up,
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you always say.
But they have, I'm going to tell you something. They have their own minds. And what a lot of y'all got to understand is, especially nowadays with like the internet, you see parents, they try to keep their kids off of it. There's going to be a point where they start seeing online and on TV that there are people that are seriously wealthy and they're doing it a different route than what my mom is saying do. And they're going to use that mixed with their own thought process that was given to them based on being their own person. And they're going to start to process what they want to be their journey. This is why a lot of times you got a lot of old timers explaining, go to college, get a degree. If you need, student loans, if you need a scholarship, go for that. And then they sitting back looking, it's YouTubers that's younger than my mama, that's millionaires off of just doing fun stuff in front of the camera, online. They processing that, mixed with what you saying, mixed with, how y'all living, looking at how these people living, realizing they know different. They start developing their own mindset. And you can say all you want to say. You can punish all you want to punish about them listening to you. It's just going to create more and more of a gap.
That's facts. My kids were talking to me today about creating a YouTube channel. And I was saying, well, if you ain't gonna wash the dishes, we ain't. And if you can't keep this and you and all that. But they looking at it like, well, whoop-de-whoop now. They got a YouTube channel. It be everybody at their house. And they do, even now. My oldest is 13 and then 10 and on down. And they see it now. They see the difference now. They lining me up now.
Yep. A lot of us, our children are more savvy with technology than we are, and it's just based on them growing up in a time where it was just there from the time they was born. You see 1-year-olds can open up iPhones, go to videos and click on them. They can't read, can't write, can't spell, can't talk, but they know to click and look at what they want. Their brains are developing different than how a lot of us was. And you have to be honest with yourself about that. Joe, it was something you wanted to share.
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick, I know all of us, I kind of feel like I'm old, but all of us don't reach a certain point at a certain time in life, that light bulb is going to click. It really hit home for me when you said people can do what they want to do, right? People are entitled to do what they want to do. And I took that as folks is grown, they're going to do what they want to do. And when you said that, you were talking about relationships. And for me, it clicked that second time. Why am I stressing about what he out here doing when I have the opportunity to either put up with it or go?
Yep.
And so when you said it this, and you said it 100 times, but that second time it like really hit for me. And so the guy that I've been with the last 4.5 years, we haven't been dealing or anything for the last month. Right? Fine with me. Because what I decided back this summer was that, and I have a daughter, I have one child, she just turned 20 in July. But I guess I feel like I'm at a certain point in life now where it is about me. And, my daughter is older, like now she gone. Here in Indiana it's 10:39. I don't know where she at. She'll be home in a minute, right? But I can't spend a whole lot of time focusing on what she's doing like I used to do when she was little.
You face the reality that there's nobody for you to be codependent on or attach yourself to. You gotta face you and start doing things for you, pampering you, looking out for you, asking yourself what you want. All the shit you've been not doing for years based on caring for someone else.
Yep. So this past June, that's when I decided to get back in school. And so I work full time and go to school also. But what I found just in being in school is I don't have time to worry about what he doing or ain't doing because I'm in my books.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm not working, then I'm studying or I'm reading or I'm researching something. So And I don't know if that'll help somebody, but I think sometimes when we just sit back and focus on, and I know you're gonna touch on it in goals, but when we focus on what we need to do for ourselves, it can free up that other stuff that's going on that really ain't that important.
And Joe, I'm so glad you said that, because it's that mixed with taking yourself serious that will level you up. Having goals and then taking yourself, because you can have goals, but if you don't take yourself serious, meaning you don't actually believe you worthy or valuable enough for these goals, they ain't gonna get nowhere. You see people every year make them vision boards in January, talking about what they gonna do. I see people all the time make them Facebook posts. I'm gonna be the first millionaire in my family. This year gonna be my, at the end of the year, they ain't made fucking half 100,000, let alone $1 million. When they gonna tell themselves the same shit the next year, they don't even take them serious. Because if you took yourself serious, you'd have this shit wrote out. You'd be relentless at chasing down what you say you want for yourself. You won't have time for bullshit conversations, people's bullshit, them fucking you over and over again. You'll have a low tolerance and a lot of boundaries and shit that you communicate and resources to help you facilitate and work towards the stuff if you took yourself serious. That's the question. So is there anybody else that wants to add before I start?